In this video, I will show you all about cloud functions in Moralis. First and foremost, we're going to discuss why you need cloud functions, why they're so important, and why you should invest in learning this infrastructure and learning this feature. Then I will show you how to do a simple cloud function using the Moralis admin UI, because you can edit your functions and you can upload new functions straight from the UI. And then I will show you how to build your cloud functions on your own machine, how to set up your own environment with your own text editor. You can even use IDEs, such as, for example, WebStorm or Sublime Text or VS Code, whatever you want, and how you can have this whole project with many files, many dependencies, and how then you can upload it all to your Moralis server and use it. So, first and foremost, let's start with why do you need cloud functions? What are cloud functions? When you start using Moralis, you use the Moralis server. Now, this server is handling your users, is handling your database, is handling your transactions, is handling different events. You can watch real-time events on the blockchain, you can watch addresses, you can do all kinds of plugins. So this is done in the server, and it's a lot of features that the server does by default. For example, when the user logs in, you get all transactions and all real-time transactions as well for that user. So there are a lot of default features that the server does. However, what if you want some custom feature? Let's say that you want for each user their average gas price. Well, it's a very specific feature, it's a very specific demand, because all dapps don't need this. So Moralis server does not include it by default. But how do you calculate the average gas price for all users if you have to? Cloud function. What if you have an NFT game and you want to get the leaderboard? You want to get the leaderboard and you want to get the top 10 players of your game. Well, it's also a very specific feature for your specific use case, and Moralis server will not have it by default. But how do you do this? You do it through cloud function. What if, I'm just giving you some use cases, what if, and then we're gonna go deeper, what if you have an NFT marketplace and you want to have your top sellers in your NFT marketplace, and maybe you want to have your top sellers that were active in the last 60 minutes. So as you can see, there are a lot of different features, a lot of different custom code you want to add to your Moralis server, and you can do it very easily through JavaScript, through cloud functions. So this is the definition of cloud function. Cloud function is a piece of JavaScript that you can put on your Moralis server. So put in Moralis server so that you can do more things with your server. This can, and these cloud functions, by the way, they get access to the database, they get access to the blockchain. You can really do a lot of things with cloud functions. But the simplest explanation is that the cloud function feature is a way for you to put your own custom backend logic on the Moralis server without hosting a backend. Because Moralis server is your backend, and there you can add your own code, your own functions. All of the functions you add automatically become HTTP endpoints. This is very important. You can call all your functions from the SDK, and I will show you how to do it from the SDK. It's very simple, but I will also show you how to do it from HTTP. It's also very simple. And we have a full documentation page here on docs.moralis.io, so that you can read all about cloud functions in detail, because there are a lot of things to discuss. But so now I told you what cloud functions are, what they do. Let me show you how to write a simple cloud function. So I have my server right here. It is a Kovan testnet server. Let's say I want to add specific backend logic to the server. How do I do that? Well, as you can see, there is this button called cloud functions. Very good. I click here, and as you can see, I've already written a small cloud function. And when you open this, it will be completely empty. So as you can see, the first thing we have to do in order to create a new cloud function is to write moralis.cloud.define, and then we write the name of the function. In this case, it is hello world. And then we have to define the handler, what will happen when this cloud function is called. And here's where we could access the database. So let me just give you a few things we can do here. So here we can access the database. We can access blockchain. We can access APIs, third-party APIs. We can do any logic on all of this data that we receive, and we return to the user we return to the front end by writing return and then whatever we want to return. In this case, I'm just returning hello world, and that's it. So this is how you define the Cloud function, and then you click save file, and this Cloud function will now be loaded into the server. Now, how do we call this? Well, first and foremost, I set up a very simple application that calls this Cloud function like so, moralis.cloud.run, hello world, and this is the name of the Cloud function, as defined right here. And then we wait for the reply, and then we put the reply in the console. We print the reply to the console. So if I go now to my website here, as you can see, I have hello world in the console. And of course, if I change this message right here and I save, I wait for it to get applied, and then I go back and I refresh my own site. You see that it is hello, this new message. So this is how simple it is to run a simple Cloud function and how to write it as well. It's not complicated. However, it's a very simple example. If you go to our docs, you can find more complicated examples. So here's, for example, a program, a Cloud function that goes into the database. So you can query the database straight from the Cloud function. You use the same query mechanics as you would in your SDK. So you create a new Moralis query, and then you can add conditions, and then you can get the results, and then you can run logic on those results. And this can be anything you want. This can really be anything you want here. You can do whatever logic you want. So this is very simple. Of course, you may have a bigger use case. What if you are 10 people working on a project? You cannot all be editing your Cloud functions in this one file. It will not be sustainable. What if you are 10 people and you have different people working on different parts of your app, and you all somehow need to share this one editor? Of course, it will not work. What you have to set up is your development environment on your computer. And this is what we're going to be speaking about next. How to set up Cloud function environment on your machine so that you can use any editor, any IDE. You can set up a Git project. You can basically collaborate many people together. So to do that, you go here and you click on set up your Cloud functions in your IDE. And as you can see, the first step is to install the Moralis admin CLI by using npm. Next, you copy this command, which is the command to watch Cloud folder. And this means that we create a folder where we put our code. So in this case, as you can see, I've created a folder called Cloud, where I've put a new file called cloud.js, and here I have my Cloud function, and here's where I'll be having more code for my Cloud functions. And what this command allows us to do, this one right here, is to watch a specific folder and all the contents of that folder, and as soon as something changes, we take all of that content and we upload it to the Cloud function. And so this is a command within the admin CLI. So we have the watch Cloud folder command. For that, we need the API key, the secret, the subdomain. So obviously keep this secret if you're using this for a real application. This is very secret information, because with this information, you can change the Cloud functions on your server. You can have autosave set to 1 or yes. And then finally, you need to provide which folder you want. So this is exactly what I have done here in my command. Let me show you here. If I exit this and I show you that I have Moralis admin CLI, I watch Cloud folder, the command, then I put my information, API key, subdomain, and so on and so forth. And then I point to this folder called Cloud, as you can see. And where is this folder? Well, this folder is right here. So you need to know the path to your folder. And then, and as you can see now, I've also changed the message here. Hello world from IDE. So I press enter, and it will say changes uploaded correctly. And if I go back to my Cloud function, as you can see now, it's changed right here, and it looks a bit different, because now there's some extra data here and some extra stuff here. And that is because now we're really thinking in terms of merging files together. This means that this code right here will not just be automatically uploaded as it is to Moralis server. Instead, it will go through a special program that will merge it with other code that you may have in the same folder. So what I mean by that is, if you have a team and you have a big project and you need to have several different files, this is how you do it. Let's say that you create a new file, and here you have helpers.js. And let's say that this is a file for helper functions. So here you can say get hello, like this. And here you can return hello from helpers file. So this is completely different file. I can save it. And here in the cloud function, cloud.js, I can now use this function because they will all be merged into the same file, as you can soon see. So here I can return get hello, and get hello is defined right here. If you go and you check things here, you see that it's been all successfully uploaded. And then you go and you refresh your cloud functions. You see that now get hello is in the same file as the definition of the cloud function, although right here we use several different files. And if you go now to your client and you refresh, you will see that now in the console you have the new message. And the new message, of course, is coming from this helpers file. And when we upload to the server, when this code is uploaded to the server, we have our command right here. And when it is running, this watch cloud folder, when watch cloud folder is running, it is mashing everything into one file, which means that we don't need to use any require or anything. It just will end up in the same file. And this is how easy it is. And of course, now you can create a Git repository in this folder, which means that you can now work many people together. Many people together can work on different things at the same time. They can edit different files in your cloud functions, and they can build different cloud functions independently. And then you can just merge it all together in this folder, and then you can just run and upload everything. So guys, this was a short introduction to cloud functions, and I hope you get the idea why they exist, how to use them, how to write them in the online editor, how to write them from your IDE, from your Atom, from your Sublime, from VS Code. I mean, you can write anywhere as long as you can just run that upload command. Smash the like. Most importantly, remember that we do have a huge community in our forums. If you go to forum.moralis.io, here you can find all kinds of answers, all kinds of questions. If you have any question about what we just discussed, go here and ask, and I'll see you all very, very soon.